welcome back to Saints Row. Last time we almost won. We defeated the Vice Kings for good. They were the final of the three gangs, and that cemented the Saints' power in Stillwater, but just as we were celebrating, we heard Julius over the phone talking about being pulled over by the cops, which doesn't bode well. So at this point, we're kind of just waiting for someone to give us news of what's happened. I'm sure some of the other members are out there trying to figure out what's going on, and they'll probably come back when they figure it out, but I'm sure it's fine, right? It's just getting pulled over. What are they gonna do to Julius Little? Nothing, that's what. So yeah, until then, we're just, waiting for the call, waiting for the good news. Oh, here they are now.
This is Chief Monroe. If you want Julius back, listen to what I've got to say.
Oh, that's not good.
Now, that stunt you pulled downtown with a rocket launcher cost my associates and I quite a bit of money.
Which
I
one?
may not be an honest man, but I'm a fair one. So rather than turn Saints Row into a parking lot, I'm gonna let you work off what you owe me. There's a mayoral campaign going on, and I want one of the candidates taken off the ballot. Marshal Winslow is in his campaign bus right now, and he has an appointment with the northbound. Park that bus on the train tracks tonight, or you'll find Julius's body floating in the river tomorrow. Don't disappoint me. Julius is counting on you.
Okay, worst case scenario. He was, in fact, arrested, and now we're being threatened by the Chief of Police, Monroe. So, yeah, this is kind of a tough mission. It's certainly one that does not fuck around. It starts right off, we don't get a cutscene, we just get a phone call, and now we've got 3 minutes to get over there. Well, a little more than 3 minutes. But you know what, let's just assume it's 3 minutes and just go faster. Just go as fast as possible, don't waste time. So, as you might imagine, the real difficult thing here is gonna be avoiding security when it happens. Obviously, nobody is threatening us right now, but this is, as always, just here so you have to do a bit of driving if you accidentally lose the mission and have to start over. Gotta get to the location. Just very, very quickly. Alright, there we go, there's the bus. Alright, go Nitro! Yeah, at this point, we definitely need the bus. The bus is not allowed to explode, even though that would also kill Winslow. I guess Monroe just really wants a specific way for this bus to explode, and that is to put it on train tracks. I don't know why the specificity. No matter what, it's gonna be blamed on us. And oh, I can't lose you, Saints Mobile. Look, the bus is stuck, which means I've got the perfect opportunity to do this. Yeah, you should prioritize killing the driver rather than doing damage to the bus, and... yeah, sorry, hi, it's me, the new leader of the Saints, you know me well.
Son, it's not too late to walk away.
And this is the mission where they make you feel really bad about what you're doing. At this point, it really is just him or Julius, and I mean, it's Julius, that's the man who saved us. We're not allowed to let him die. And yeah, no, also important to note, the reason you gotta be so fast in the beginning is because the timer is global. That is the time until that train arrives, or at least, it'll get there quicker if you get there earlier, but whatever. Anyway, though, yeah, like, the time you get at the start is the time you get for the entire mission, so... avoid exploding, and... make sure you have plenty of time to get this, relatively quick bus over. I was gonna call it slow, but it's not that bad. It is, however, getting shot a whole bunch. Which is understandable, there's a lot of guns in play, and I'm not really doing anything to lower them. But that would distract me, so I'm not going to do that.
Saints Row myself.
Oh, God. Alright, so once this happens, get the hell off the bus. Winslow will not follow you. Just make sure to get out before that happens. If you're too close, of course, you will explode. So, don't be on or near the bus. And yeah, that's it. The better of the two candidates, Marshall Winslow, is now dead. Got crushed to death by a train in a bus. What a way to go. And yeah, no, Man, there really wasn't anything wrong with him exactly. It's more of a societal problem. Does not feel good to have to do that. Oh, also, real quick, he was voiced by Chris Williams. For what little he spoke before being killed.
Did you handle it? Where the fuck is Julius?
Have you heard back from Monroe?
Nice work. But I don't think I can let Julius go until you do a little more community service. We'll be in touch.
Looks like we wait.
Why? So we can let this jag-off jerk us around? Fuck that!
Yeah, I don't want to be bossed around by the chief of police. This sucks ass.
Johnny, we're not blowing up City Hall.
Hey, I'm just saying. It would solve a lot of problems.
What if they're keeping Julius there?
Alright.
Ah, damn, a clever ploy.
Plan, then let's be Monroe's bitches.
You're right. There is. Marshall Winslow was a major public figure, and you can bet your ass that people would ask questions if the chief of police wasn't at his funeral. I say we hit Monroe during the funeral procession. That should show whoever he's working with that we're not fucking around.
You're saying we should assassinate the chief of police while he's at the funeral of the guy we just smashed?
What do you mean, we?
Yeah.
Don't tease me, Dex.
Let's fucking do it.
Alright, end of the game. Dex and Johnny are finally getting along.
Alright, let's get going.
Alright, so, the Saints Mobile was kind of a wreck where I left it, and we do not have time. Apparently this is a very quick funeral, happening already.
We only get one chance at this, so we can't fuck this up. Once we hit Monroe, we better get out of there quick. The last thing we want is to make a big scene.
So yeah, Hail to the Chief also can be a potentially very tough mission. Again, we've got to drive over, so if you fail the mission, you gotta retrace your steps a bit. But this time there's no time limit involved, so it's a little less stressful in the first half. To be fair, there is no timer whatsoever. Well, at least not the usual one. I'm pretty sure there's a fail state of letting Monroe go, but it's not tied to anything like specifically like a timer. Either way though, yeah, no, like, we don't really get a lot of reaction to the idea of killing Marshall Winslow, because that didn't have cutscenes attached to it. Dex and Johnny don't really seem too upset over that. Like, they don't like being controlled by Monroe, but that's understandable. But yeah, no, like, Marshall Winslow he does his best in what little time, you get to know him. He doesn't have all the fancy campaign attack ads like Hughes does. Probably because he just has a stronger policy overall. Again, not effective enough to actually rid Stillwater of the gangs, but I mean, he was clearly trying to be more understanding than, like, anyone else in the game. He tried to reason with us at the end. There was fear in his voice, but, like, he tried his best. Like, man. It's gonna be sad about that for a bit. Usually the people we kill either suck or we don't know anything about them when we just casually run them over. Damn, he humanized himself in his final moments. That's really gonna get to me. Alright, so, here we are at the destination, though. May not have liked killing Marshall Winslow, but Monroe's a completely different story. And of course, even if you don't have it on you normally, this is a mission that calls for the McManus.
After the hit. Now let's get to the roof before the mourners roll by. Take this. When the funeral procession comes into view, take out Monroe. He'll be the one in the cop car.
Alright, the one in the cop car. Alright, there's the cop car. and there's the other cop. Oh no. Yeah, I see many. Okay, so bad news, I'm very bad at sniping right now. I killed the guy who wasn't driving. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Time for rocket launchers. Monroe didn't appreciate the rocket launchers before? Well, guess what? They're gonna cost him more money and also his life. I don't know which car Monroe's in, but all of them are going to explode. So yeah, pretty much at this point, you just blow up the rest of... Damn, nice shot, Johnny. Blow up the rest of the cars, take care of this procession. Alright, we are good to go. Dex, quit being on fire, we gotta get out of here. Confirmed, everything is gone, and we are not lowering that wanted level, so it's time for our good old friend Forgive and Forget. Alright, let's get Jesus to forgive us and... Dex, did you just teleport? Well done, Dex, that was a good teleport. Alright, so yeah, finale time. Take whatever car you're in and get the hell out of here with a 5-star rating from the cops. They, of course, will be blocking off streets. They will be taking their heaviest firepower in to try and kill you. I'm sure they must have more than one helicopter, but we did blow up the one they were using before, and they haven't brought in a new one. And yeah, no, it's just a matter of dealing with some highly aggressive AI, but the nice thing is, there is no time limit, so we are allowed to switch vehicles partway through. This one looks a little bit heavier than what we had before, so let's take this. And yeah, it's unfortunate, and Dex, did you teleport again? Yep, there he is. But anyway, yeah, bit of a shame that the Saints Mobile was not in any condition to be picked up and brought over in a timely manner. Then again, I don't think it would have lasted through this mission. We would have been saying goodbye to the Mark IV right at the end. Okay, I think we're a little stuck here. Let's try again. Yeah, yours looks good. I mean, personally, I would have preferred an armored truck, but I would have had to, zoned in on that a little sooner, huh? Alright, well then. Pardon me, alright, and believe we're almost- yep, there it is. Now for the final challenge, actually maneuvering myself into the Forgive and Forget while everybody's trying to ram me to death.
They'll be scooping Monroe up for weeks.
Hell yeah, they will. Alright, that is taken care of.
Hello there, young man. This is Alderman Hughes.
Oh, it's that bitch.
That was quite a message you sent at Winslow's funeral. And trust me, I heard it loud and clear. Now, I'd like to set one thing straight. It was Monroe's plan to strong-arm the Saints. Personally, I've always thought you and I could have a much healthier relationship. Now, we've had a rocky start, yes, but why don't we fix that? Come over to my fundraiser tonight. Julius will be there, and between the three of us, I'm sure we can work something out.
Well, don't that just sound threatening? Alright, so, if you haven't been paying attention to the ads in this game, this might seem like a bit of a non sequitur, but, yeah, no, between, the radio ads, and I'm pretty sure some of the, print ads have been visible as well, we know well who Richard Hughes is, so... Well, I mean, we've already killed one mayoral candidate and the chief of police. We might as well go 3 for 3 tonight, huh? Alright, if this vehicle would just go a little bit... God damn, jeez. Alright, I don't think this thing is entirely in working order. Yeah. Yeah, this thing's dead. Alright, well... on foot it is. And of course we have to hear his voice one more time.
Saints Row has long since devolved into a contemporary Sodom. A place where diseased whores corrupt the bodies and virtues of our youth. Where drugs ensnare the minds of the impoverished. And all too often violence is seen as the solution to any problem.
Are you telling me it hasn't been? Oh.
Make no mistake.
You doing alright?
If Stillwater is ever to be made whole again, Something needs to be done about Saints Row. Mayor Winslow thinks that throwing scraps from his ivory tower to various volunteer programs is enough to clean up the district.
Too soon.
But 2 years of spending with negligible results clearly proves that if we want to see change...
Well, now that Hughes is saying this,
we need to
I'm
take
second-guessing
drastic
myself.
steps.
Wait a minute, he thinks they
I'm
were
Alderman
useless.
Richard
I mean, they
Hughes.
actually did something.
I have the experience.
I mean, I had to fight
have
3
the
gangs
will.
and I'm in one,
And
but
unlike
I
our
don't
current
know.
mayor,
Maybe
I
Winslow's
have
plans
a
worked better than
plan.
I was giving him credit for.
Vote for me and help turn our city into something we can
I
be
hope
proud
Richard
of.
Hughes never says the sky is blue, or I'll doubt that too. Alright, so here we are at the final mission of the game, Saints and Martyrs.
Your guest is here, Mr. Hughes.
Thanks, Stephen. If you don't mind, could you wait outside?
Outside of what? We're on a
I'm
boat.
Richard Hughes. It is a pleasure to meet the man who handed me the election.
Now hold on a minute, Clancy Brown.
to be modest,
Just
I'm serious.
because one
There's no way
candidate
I
is
could've
dead
Marshall
doesn't
Winslow.
mean you're a shoo-in.
So, but you made
I mean,
it
at this
possible
point,
to
a write-in
For
could
that,
win.
I can't thank you enough.
Even Playa could
I mean, had
win.
Winslow been
Come
the only
on.
person killed, attention would
Don't
have
pat yourself on the
definitely
back just
lessened.
yet.
But after that fireworks display you pulled at his funeral, it's become abundantly clear these horrible crimes were perpetrated by the 3rd Street Saints. While before people criticized my Saints Row urban renewal plan, it is now being lauded. See, until you came along, I was displacing poor people. Now, I'm destroying a hotbed of gang activity. What can I say? The public is fickle.
They could be fickle in our direction. Maybe they
Get
like
over
being
you
run
quickly,
over,
learn that there are only
actually.
2 types of people in this world. Race, money, gender, none of this matters. At the end of the day, you're either a winner or a loser. Now, the sad truth about our situation is that in order for me to be a winner, I have to level your neighborhood and salt the earth.
Do you understand how many weapons
Steven,
Playa
you
has
coming
at a
here?
given time? Also, didn't you send that man off the boats?
Oh yes, salting the
Yeah,
earth.
I know, that's the name of the
Now, I
cutscene.
suppose I could try to pay you
Oh, hey,
off,
Julius.
But really, what's the point? You just say no. Or in your case, stand there looking intimidating and we'd be...
Oh, hey,
right back
casual
where
big
we
reveal.
started. So I figured I'd cut the middleman and get right to the point.
Yo, can you speed this shit up? I want to go to Freckle Bitches.
You're going to die here, son.
Do you think I'm afraid of 4 men?
If it
Really?
makes it any easier,
I think Playa's got this. He's gonna get off this boat, and come election season, the name on every ballot that everyone's gonna vote for is gonna be... Oh. Well, okay then. And with that, we've reached the real end of Saints Row. So yeah, if this was the only game in the Saints Row series, and if I had somehow played it, I would be very satisfied with that ending. Maybe some people wouldn't be, but honestly, I feel like exploding on a boat is really the only way this game could have ended. The way the entire endgame escalates, it really does just lead up to this point of, there's nothing that can really be done about the situation other than just killing everybody. So like, okay, I think that a lot of gamers are very bad at narrative, and I think when I say that Saints Row is a game that is in part about violence, that is, for some people, like a sign of a bad narrative, or one that's like too ham-fisted or whatever, because that is oftentimes kind of the reaction to it, right? Like, it's a video game about violence, so the gamer reaction is, oh, does that mean they didn't actually want me to play this video game since they're saying violence is bad? Are they saying that I'm a bad person for participating in this? And I'm sure there is examples of that, but I also don't think that's as big a problem as people think it is. I mean, look, people choose the medium of video games for a reason. And I don't think having a game with a message about violence is inherently going to be preachy or judgmental against the player. But that being said, I think Saints Row does a perfect job of doing that sort of thing. It is a game about violence, but it is absolutely not one that's going to judge you for playing it. They did want to make a fun video game. It just so happens that the way they made it fun also leads perfectly into Playa as a character, because you are encouraged to play it. I don't want to say like a psychopath. Like, you're fine for playing the video game, but like, Playa as a character is just kind of unhinged. Silent and completely unhinged. They really do encourage you to just kind of treat the world like a sandbox. Unlike some games that might frown upon you doing that sort of thing, or, you know, might even make mechanics specifically to avoid that. Like, oh god, Assassin's Creed is the first thing I can think of, where, like, they want to have an open world with people in it for reasons, but if you harm people casually, you do fuck up your sync meter or whatever. So they don't want you, like, haphazardly killing people. This game, it doesn't really care. Like, you do not get the cops' attention until you run over a lot of people or steal too many things near a cop. The most direct way to get the police's attention is to attack the police. Otherwise, yeah, no, like, you can just drive like mad and run over several people and it's just fine. You are not supposed to care about that, because Playa does not care about that. You are free to drive as casually as you'd like. There's a lot of missions geared towards just blowing stuff up, stealing things, having a lot of collateral damage, and that's all kind of the point. You are allowed to find the video game fun, however it does lead entirely into this. Having a player character who ultimately is just a terrible person. And I feel like some people might think that the end of the game is a little rushed, and it kind of is. It's only 2 actual missions, and a mission that is a cutscene that leads you into thinking you're gonna have a final battle, and then it blows you to smithereens. But, I don't know, I feel like it makes sense. Once you exit the realm of, you know, fighting other gangs, the police really only care if you start harming things outside of just gangs and their operations.
Thank you, Jane.
But, like, once you actually leave that, once Monroe has you kill an actual official, there really is no other way for this to end other than just a quick ramp up into constant violence, and the only way this was going to end was Playa dying. It just, you know. Also so happens that whoever set up that bomb did very much want to target Richard Hughes as well, because he is a terrible person. Leaving him uninhibited would have also been a problem, so this is very much a kill 2 birds with 1 stone situation. They removed Richard Hughes, but they also stopped Playa's rampage before it could continue spiraling. So yeah, maybe I'm just that artsy bitch, but I do very much like the ending of just, yeah, you explode. Obviously, there is more to the series after this, and overall, I do not mind that it continued. Maybe if I did start with Saints Row 1, I would care more, like, oh, they continued after this, but, like, that was such a perfect ending, why would they keep going? But I still love Saints Row 4, so, like, I want the series to get to that point. Like I believe I started saying before, I've really liked my time with this game. A lot more than I thought I would. And even if I prefer the other games in the series, I still think this one holds up well enough. I just think that, like, the way it is presented might be one of its weakest points, because it really would not have attracted my eye at all if it was just this game. Like, GTA isn't usually my thing anyway, and this just seems too close to that, so, like, why would I play the thing that just looks like it's trying to have GTA's cake? But Saints Row 4 did wind up attracting me to the series, and it's because of that I was interested in the rest of them, and yeah, now I like this game by its own merits. Again, not my favorite presentation from an outside perspective, but now that I've seen through, like, the actual story myself, instead of just, like, watching the cutscenes on YouTube, I like this game a fair bit. The main plot's pretty good. Honestly, this game's worst writing does usually fall under the side missions, so, you know, I guess if that's where the worst parts are, I'm fine with that. But, yeah, that will be it for Saints Row. I'd say tune in next time for whatever I do next, but, I would actually like to have an immediate follow-up to this ending. We will see the results of this boat explosion next time in Saints Row 2. See you then.
So what's in here? Guns? Money? Some uncut shit? Shoes?
Actually, they're this season's new.
Bullshit, that's last year's fall collection.
That's not true.
Just let it go, man. No reason to piss off Manuel. Let's get going.
There's a room where the light won't find you. Hold your hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Every